Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Jerry.
Linda and Gizmo.
We're the village's newcomers, and it's time for...
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
Things are looking great here in the villages. We've had just enough rainfall that everything is so green and the shrubs are so lush. It's really nice out there.
And the temperature's gone down just a little this week, so it's enjoyable.
I think this has been a rare summer where the temperatures here have been very much in line with temperatures in Minnesota and Indiana and Wisconsin. So nothing to complain about here.
Yeah.
Last week we put a call out for questions. We were running low on questions. But wow, you guys responded. Thank you for the questions. We got some great questions and we got some doozies. And looking forward to bringing you both of those kind. Let's get on to our shout outs.
We want to shout out this week to Lori of Parma Heights, Ohio. Just lovely little package we got in the mail. And Mike and Hazel from Tupper Lake, New York, gave us some nice music to listen to. And Pat and Joseph, I can't say this last name, Ranieri, how do you say that?
I don't know, maybe Ranieri.
Ranieri, maybe, from Syracuse, New York. Beautiful stitching. And we got a visitor this week from a couple named Mike and Joni, and they're from Tennessee. We had a lovely visit with them.
We don't always get selfies. I mean, a lot of times you guys will take them and we won't get them. If you send them to us, sometimes we'll try to remember and put them on the air. Yeah. We have adorable pups, some patriotic Americans, and viewers in their Jerry and Linda t-shirts. Remember, if you're interested in a t-shirt, you write an email to 4artsprints@gmail.com, and he will send you an order form. We really have nothing to do with that process. An update, still in the shout-out mode here, but remember last week we talked about spiders and spiders crawling in your mouth
Yes.
while you're sleeping? A nightmare, right?
Makes you not want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got a letter, and she says, don't mention my name. So I'm not going to do that. But here's what she said. You talked about spiders getting in your mouth while sleeping. Well, I have to tell you that it's true, because it happened to me once. At least I hope it was only once. Not long after moving to Michigan in 1994, I woke up one morning and felt something in my mouth. Thinking it was food, I grabbed a tissue and got it. It was a balled-up spider. It was completely dead. Aww. I freaked out, and since then I've heard it could happen, and now I certainly hope I won't swallow any of them. So that was a rare case, but evidently it did happen. And here's a spider. Someone wrote and said, hey, we found this when we moved in here in the villages. So that spider was found here. There are spiders everywhere.
Yeah.
They hang out. That's what they do. They're everywhere. Hi, Gizmo. He's laying his head on my arm. Aww. But, yeah, there are spiders everywhere. I wouldn't worry about it. We certainly don't see even as many here as we saw in Indiana. No. Of course, they dust with pesticides here all the time.
Yeah.
Another update before we get to our regular questions. You might remember last week we talked about seatbelts and how we feel like seatbelts are important.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned at that time that some people don't believe in seatbelts. I had a couple of friends that are truckers, over-the-road truckers, that refuse to wear seatbelts because they carry flammable cargo and they want to be able to get out of it if it ever starts burning.
Right.
I personally feel like a seatbelt will save you many more times than it won't. But here's a letter we got concerning that issue this week. and I want you to look at these pictures while I'm reading it. Last December, I was in a horrific rollover accident. I'm 54. It was at night on a long road. I swerved to not hit a coyote. I overcorrected and rolled. I rolled into a country ditch next to a barbed wire fence. Law enforcement told me that they thought they would be dealing with a fatality, but my seatbelt saved my life along with the airbags. I had no injuries except above my eye. I'm very pleased and blessed to be alive. Thank you both for talking about seatbelts. It's a simple, quick click that significantly increases your odds of surviving. God bless. And that's from Catherine. So there you go. If we help one of you,
Yes.
if we save one life or even one severe injury, we're happy to put that out there. Today's questions are pretty good. We're going to save the best one until the end. So hang in there with us till we get there, and you're going to see a pretty good question, I think. Why don't you mention all the bad things, like the palm rats that live in the palm trees, or the giant palmetto bugs that invade every house in the villages? Why don't you mention the STDs? Why don't you mention all the swingers down there? The last part of that question, we don't mention men on the moon. We don't mention unicorns very often. We don't mention fairies. We talk about the things that we see here and the things that are here. Those things are rumors. They were started a long time ago. We're not going to get into a big debate about it. It's like people say we're not going to deal with that subject because it's ridiculous. And that's what we feel. We feel like that part of it is not even worth mentioning. So that's it on the subject.
We like to stay positive in the villages. That's our goal. Have a great life and be positive about everything, really.
Well, it is our goal to be positive, but I'll tell you, if we see some things that we don't like, we're going to mention it. I think you guys know that all you get on this channel is our opinion, and that's what it's going to be, our opinion. When we like it, we're going to tell you we like it. When we love it, we're going to tell you. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. I don't know if she will or not, but I will.
Occasionally I will.
Yeah. So what about the palm rats? I'm looking out back here. You guys know we're filming in our lanai. I'm looking out back. There are at least 15 big palm trees I can see. We have never seen one rat.
No.
Or basically anything that you would consider offensive out of those palm trees. And what about the giant palmetto bugs that invade every house in the villages?
Oh, every house.
Have we been invaded? We live in a house. Ours is one of the every houses in the villages, and we don't have any. We haven't seen any. We've been here almost 3 years. I'm sure they're here,
Yeah.
This guy is very impatient this morning.
He's wanting a treat.
But anyway, that's unsigned, that letter. A lot of our more critical letters are unsigned. And so I'm going to sign this one for him. I'm going to sign it, unhappily living in my parents' basement. You didn't know I was going to do that?
No, I got to stop laughing.
Okay. This is from Doug and Sandy in Peoria, Illinois. We had the pleasure to be in Peoria years ago.
Yes, we did. It's a nice little town.
We have good friends, Robin and Karen, that are from Peoria.
Right.
Do you see housing prices returning to normal? I don't, but my wife thinks they'll come down in a year or so. Who knows? But I'll tell you, in my opinion, prices are out of control down here. But as long as there's somebody that can afford it and wants to buy it, they're not going to come down. So, and if they come down, then the price of your resale is going to come down. Mm-hmm. So let's say, for instance, if we wanted to buy a house somewhere here in the villages, and we could sell our house for, let's say, $200,000 more than we bought it for. That's great.
Yeah.
Except we'd have to pay that percentage more for a new house. Mm-hmm. So, it is what it is. Selling a home here might benefit you if you wanted to move to another part of the country. Maybe you get something cheaper, but down here, right now, it shows no indication of going down, but you never know. We'll address this in a year or so and see what happened.
This question is from Alice, and she has my question that I often ask too. Where are the restrooms? Are there a lot of restrooms available? Are they just at the recreation centers, or they're on the way to the rec centers?
Yeah, she says, if you use this on Mailbag Monday, please don't use my husband's name. He would tease me to no end. Okay, we're not going to use your husband's name, Alice. Don't worry about that. So what about it?
Well, there are restrooms definitely at the rec centers. They're definitely at the pools. You'll have them downtown in this, or I say downtown, in the squares. There'll be a, right near where the theaters are, where the box office is, there's a little public restroom. So yeah, there's restrooms everywhere.
A great place to start at home. There's no place like home. All pools have this little area right as soon as you walk in the front gate. It's right by the mailboxes. You go in the gate, and we have a women's and a men's with drinking fountains and men and women's restrooms. And they're not fancy by any means. And this is Manatee's restroom. Really nice, decorated. And there's a men's, the women's. Yoo-hoo! And no one's in here. And this is a nice little restroom. This is Hillsborough Pool. And like I said, all the pools have a restroom. I am in the Village's Brownwood Sales Center for Brownwood, and this is a lovely place, by the way. And you probably need to check out the bathrooms here. They are nice, and you can come in here public if you're down at the square. We are outside the theater and next to Dunkin' Donuts, and this is where you could go public to the restrooms. It's right by it's called the Outhouse. And we have restrooms here on both sides, women and men's. It's right by the box house if you want to go. And that's down the squares, and I think all the squares have this box office, and there are places for public restrooms.
Yeah, there better be, because we can't go anywhere. Our first stop everywhere is the restroom. Why?
Oh, yes.
Why?
And at the beginning of the golf course, the check-in shack, what do you call that?
Starter shack.
Starter shack, check-in shack. Starter shack, and then halfway through the golf course, there's another bathroom. So I check them. I know where they are.
We go in Walmart. Boom, she's got to go to the restroom. We go in Sam's Club. Boom, she's going to the restroom. We go to a furniture store. Do you have a restroom? People, go at home. That's what that's what you're supposed to do.
My grandmother was the same way.
Who wants to go in public anyway?
Well, I think women's restrooms are a lot nicer than the men's, maybe. I don't know. But actually, the rec center restrooms are lovely. You should go in them, really.
There you go, Alice. Don't worry about it. We have two viewers with a similar question, so do you mind taking this one?
I'll try. This is from Dana. Were you both in agreement to relocate for retirement and in agreement as to where you would move? It would be a very big change for us, 30 years in a rural farmhouse. One of us more ready than the other. Well, I think we were ready. After 35 years in that last house, and we had a farm, and we had a big yard, and we had a lot of things, and we just wanted to downsize. And we just felt it was the time. We both were in agreement to it.
So we're both in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in agreement as to where you would move?
I think so. I think so. After we started looking in Florida, in the Panhandle, we knew we liked this area. We liked Florida a lot. And we thought it would be a great vacation place for the kids to come and visit us. So definitely Florida was in agreement to us both.
Yeah, Dana, you just got to do it. You know, you can worry about it all you want, but you just got to do it if you want to change. And Tom writes on a similar note, I love your YouTube show. It's done a lot to get me in a retirement mindset. How did you deal with homesickness from Indiana when you moved to the Villages?
Well, you would hope there'd be a lot of phone calls and a lot of messages and all that kind of thing. And you try to also come down here and find some things that are similar to back home, some restaurants, some churches, and that kind of thing. So you start seeking out things that kind of remind you of home too, I think.
Yeah, it's like I've always done my whole life. You know, when you move on, you look forward, you don't look backward. Mm-hmm. You know, you go ahead and you find new activities and things that you like and things to do, and when we came down here, we were excited. I mean, we got into this new house.
Yeah, we were pinching each other. Is this real? Is this real?
Yeah, I mean, we still kind of feel that way because it's just a really idyllic community, and we do love it here. It's not perfect. No place is perfect, but it's fun to live here, and it's easy to look forward and not look back. Rose writes in and says, we were down for a lifestyle visit and the trolley buses were not running because of COVID. Can you tell us if they're up and running yet? Rose, we called the sales center because we don't know. We don't see them. No. There's a big fleet of them. You'll see them parked up at Sumter Landing, and they're really pretty and they're nice, and the tours are great. So we asked, are the trolley buses running yet? And they told us, no, they are not running. And I asked, when will they begin to run? He said, we have no idea when they will begin. And then I asked, will they begin again? Because the Villages is booming and they're not running. You know, they're selling tons of houses and there's no trolley tours. So obviously they don't need the trolley tours to sell their houses. And if you can save money by stopping something like that, you know, it's logical to think they might.
But I think it's such a charming thing because it tells the history, the different tours. There's 3 different tours, and especially the Spanish Springs tours tells the beginning of the Villages in detail and shows areas. I think it's a wonderful
It is wonderful, but it doesn't bring them a penny because they have to pay for it. They pay a tour guide, they pay a bus, they pay insurance on the bus, they pay upkeep on the bus, and they don't need it to sell homes. No. They're already selling the homes.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they stop doing it, but I have no reason to believe they will.
And please don't stop it.
Yeah, we don't want you to,
no,
but...
we love them because I think that's the charm of the Villages. It's a charming place.
Rose, you're right. They're great. Mm-hmm. We don't know when or if they will ever start again. Debbie and Joe, this is a much and often asked question.
Yes.
Is it easy to pick new doctors? Hope to meet you when we get there. Or veterinarians, he said. Right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
It is not easy.
No.
Because first of all, you have to find one that you can geographically get to easily, hopefully even in your golf cart.
Right.
Then you hope he takes your insurance. Mm-hmm. And then you hope he speaks English.
That is a must.
We love our doctor. He is a very thorough doctor. He's good. He's patient. He has a very, very, very thick accent. We have a hard time understanding him. You know, we love him, but if it gets any worse and we can't understand, we're probably going to have to look for a new doctor. I don't know that we will. I mean, I hope we don't, but it's hard to pick a new doctor. Get on Nextdoor.
Yes,
and
yes, ask that question.
Ask that question. There'll be tons of recommendations. A lot of people love their doctors. Mm-hmm. Some doctors aren't taking new patients. You'll just have to figure it out. It's hard to do. We did. We like our doctor. Stay tuned. Justin writes, Justin's a retired captain in the U.S. Navy. That's pretty impressive. That's like a full bird colonel in the Marines or the Army or the Air Force. That's a So Justin, thank you for your service. He wants to know, is there a mayor of the villages? If there isn't, is there a process or board that you can submit recommendations or concerns to regarding general villages matters? Justin, I checked this out for you. I already knew there's no mayor. You know the villages is spread out over
Acres.
who knows how many
Miles.
square miles now. You know, probably 50 square miles, probably more than that. And it's over 3 counties, Lake Sumter and Marion County. So you have all sorts of different jurisdictions. And then the villages is over all of the villages, but then you have districts inside the villages. Mm-hmm. So this can be a very difficult question. So I ask a lot of difficult questions. In fact, I think the fellow with the villages that I asked got tired of my questions. But the basic answer I got was, for major things, you will go to the county that you reside in. If they are strictly villages matters, then you go to the village's office, determine which way to proceed there. That was a very vague answer, but no mayor. You have 3 counties, whichever county you live in. We live in Sumter. We would deal with Sumter County over some issues. But I have a feeling that most of the issues that would be with our home, our lot, our street, would be villages' governmental issues, which we would take up with them if we could ever figure out how to do it. Time for our last question.
It's making me laugh already.
I told you this would be an interesting question, and it's a doozy. It's going to sound like a troll or a person just trying to stir things up. Yeah, he growled. He doesn't like trolls. Mm-hmm. So we researched it, and it looks like it's legit. It looks like it's a true letter. So let's see. The name of the person that sent this is called YouTube Critic, and he has written letters over the last 3 years to us about other things. So we're assuming this is a legit question. If not, thanks for the entertainment.
Well, I just don't like his title.
What, YouTube Critic?
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, a critic doesn't have to be negative.
Well, I think so, because critic means criticize, right?
No, I think it means critique. You know, you're going to look at it, and anyway, he's never been.
Okay, negative.
I wouldn't say that, but he's been all right.
Okay.
All right. You don't like YouTube Critic, do you? We love your channel.
Well, there you go.
We plan on moving to the villages soon. I see there are lots of clubs. I've heard if you don't see a club you like, you can start one. We are members of the Avatan Nudist Club in Minnesota. All right, stop there.
Oh, who wants to be naked in the cold?
I looked it up. This is, you can look it up, Google it. It is a humongous nudist colony in Minnesota. They boast the largest nude pool.
Is it indoor?
It's an outdoor pool. In fact, they're on their website, they've got a picture of hundreds of happy nudists in that pool.
Oh, now everyone's going to go click on that.
He says, or she says, we are planning on a home with a pool, and we would like to practice our love of nature and the human body. Could you recommend a type of home appropriate for this type of lifestyle? We are not shy about our bodies, but we want to be respectful to our neighbors. Totally legit request. First of all,
Gizmo said he's nude.
in your own home, you can do as you please.
Sure.
If you have, like some of our friends, a pool that is wide open to your neighbors, that's probably not going to work.
No, not with a birdcage open net.
We have other friends that have a concrete wall that's 6 feet or even 8 feet tall surrounding the pool. Nobody can see inside. So there you go.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what you'd have to look for.
You do as you please. But I think if your neighbors can see in, then it's going to be a no-go. But if nobody can see the privacy of your own home, you can do your thing. But interesting question, huh? Florida is a little better place for it than Minnesota, probably, huh?
I think so.
All right. That's going to do it for our questions. You've been waiting, I would like to say patiently, but he has not been waiting patiently. He wants to share his routine with you. Take it away, Gizmo.
Bobby writes in with a personal question. Again, with the personal questions. He wants to know if I'm a miniature dachshund. Bobby, come on, man. The standards say a miniature dachshund can only go up to 11 pounds. Bobby, I'm a little bit more than 11 pounds, but meh, whatever. Yeah, Dad hasn't been feeling well lately. He's had diarrhea. It's a family thing, I guess. It runs in his genes. Runs in his genes. Get it?
You get funnier every week. You do. You're a good boy. We'd like to remind you guys to please send us your pictures and keep sending those good questions in. We appreciate it very much. Send them to villagesnewcomers@gmail.com. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Thanks to all of you for watching. We really do appreciate it.
And if you liked our show today, press that like and subscribe button. Until next time.
See you when you get here.